Previously on Uongozi.
Wisdom is a kindly spirit that we now give blasphemy after the guilt of his ones.
If we say we kill all.
No one has talked about killing here.
It's not only about not around the question.
No, where are we going to take them? So what you are deciding here?
I congratulate him.
Sasa hii waongozi wazee vijana bado. Sisi wazee ndio tunafaa.
Nothing stops me from achieving what I want to achieve.
Why do you want to be a leader?
I want to be a leader so that I can change what we are passing through. Because the leaders we are having now, they are heartless, corrupt and inhuman.
The search for Kenya's aspiring leaders was in Garissa, where interviews were held, and 4 people, Enoch Minor from Garissa County, Zainab Wario from Isiolo County, Elizabeth Duya from Lamu County, and Aidan Muhammad from Mandera were selected to go to the national finals. Let's now head to Kisii. Welcome to Kisii. Known for its hills and famous for banana production, this was the 3rd location of the countrywide auditions for Uongozi. "60 contestants drawn from across 12 counties: Kericho, Homa Bay, Bomet, Baringo, Nyeri, Nyamira, Nyandarua, Nakuru, Migori, Kisii, Kisumu and Laikipia were shortlisted to appear before the judges in Kisii.
Jina yangu ni Basta James Kenyanya Nyamira. Nimezaliwa katika kaunti ya Kisii. Kenya yetu inahitaji watu ambao wana mwelekeo wa kusaidia na kuongoza watu wengine.
I'm Janet Waboikabu. I'm from Nyandarua County. I'm hoping for the best and I'm ready to face what is going on. I'm prepared.
My name is Joseph Ondijo Oido. I come from Kisumu County. I feel confident that I'll perform well because I don't have any fear because I've been competing. I've attended several competitions, so I don't fear competition.
My name is Cheruyot Nixon Yegon. I come from the county of Kericho. I'm a teacher by profession. I understand very many people applied, but few are chosen. And also in a competition, not all will be chosen.
And the contestants were ready to battle out for a position in the final 16 who have the opportunity to convince Kenyans that they are the leader Kenya needs. So far, 2 auditions have been held in Oloitoktok and Garissa. The winner of Uongozi will get a 6-month leadership prize, which will include an all-expenses-paid trip to experience 6 leadership and governance institutes across 4 continents: Asia, Africa, Europe and North America. A total of 1.2 million shilling stipend over the 6-month period and a 3 million shilling grant to implement a public project of their choice. And to preside over the Kisii auditions, 3 judges were picked from a diverse panel to bring their experiences and expertise to the auditions.
I was invited into the program by Uongozi leaders because of my work with Mzalendo.com. Mzalendo.com keeps an eye on the Kenyan Parliament, encouraging people to hold their leaders accountable. And the first step to holding leaders accountable is to actually selecting leaders of character.
My work is about developing change makers and really looking in terms of how can communities, how can individuals be change makers. I'm Kenyan. I believe in developing leadership. And I believe in that we can be able to effect change, and I believe that we really need new generation of leaders.
I teach and research on issues around leadership, especially the historical elements of leadership. And I think that that has given me some understanding of what leadership is or what leadership ought to be.
And in Kisii, Kenyans from different backgrounds came forward to take up the leadership challenge.
I'm Onwanga Imelda Mora. I come from Kericho County and currently I'm a student. I'm doing environmental science.
Mimi naitwa Hezron Ouko Gunde. Kwa sasa mimi ni fundi wa simu.
I used to work in Upendo Visit in Homa Bay. And I worked in various categories. I was a community mobilizer.
I'm John Jebet Koech. I come from Bomet County. Now I'm a secretary and a farmer.
The contestants had clear ideas about leadership and they shared their vision with the judges.
As a leader, I will help assist other members of my community to start their projects that will assist them, so that we will help guide their children to school, assist in the household like items and the like.
Tunaweza pata kiongozi, lakini kiongozi unakuta haongozi watu kupata mema. Akishapata kuwa kiongozi, uongozi inatoka pengine anaanza kuwa corrupt na unakuta anarudisha miradi nyuma.
So Imelda, what do you think is important, forest or farming in your county?
Okay, for me, forest is the most important thing. Why? Because when you look at the environment, it's something like a gift. It's not like a gift from our ancestors, rather it's like more of a loan from our children. So we should take care of it, because when you look at this time, we are facing so many challenges, especially because of the rate at which the global warming is changing. So we should be concerned about the forests.
Charity begins at home, and the judges took the contestants to task on what they were doing in their communities.
How have you served your community?
So far, teaching itself, that is serving a community. Besides, I'm a reader in several other social self-help groups. One is in my community where it also happens that I'm the secretary. It started as a merry-go-round with 12 members. Currently we are over 26 members. We started with a stock of 1,200. Now we are talking of a figure of around 150 and more, inclusive of male and female in our group.
I'm an artist, painting, fine artist, and I've been engaging some of the street children in doing that, and there are two who are eating from it. Like we organize like exhibitions in hotels, like after every 2 weeks in Kisumu, and then they go and exhibit their work, especially beadwork, which at times they sell at 500 or 1,000 bob, depends with the price.
Sometimes when I'm not so busy in school, I get to mentor young girls, upcoming girls in secondary schools. Mostly I deal with girls from disadvantaged backgrounds, and I help them to realize their potential and encourage them to meet challenges head on and become better people.
From the region I come from, there is an association that takes care of the welfare of the students of the region that I come from. I vied for a post and I was elected as a vice chairperson for some time and then chairperson for a year. So I've just handed over the office like a month ago.
Do you think that we need political leadership in order to sort out some of the issues that you are talking about that relate to medicine, but more importantly, more specialized form of it? Do we need leadership, political leadership for that, or you can just sort out some of the issues as professionals?
Political leadership at times is required, but also others can be sorted by individuals. But what is really impairing people is lack of resources. For example, myself, even in my own village, I would like to teach people, but the fare to wherever people are is really limited. But if I am a leader, I believe I would be able to get people to sponsor, and they would give it a lot of weight and go to places and allow people to go and sponsor people to go and campaign for that.
Je, wewe kama kiongozi kutoka Nyamira, ni shida gani sana unaona ile inapata watu kutoka mahali unapotoka?
Sana sana kama Nyamira, hakuna mtu anasikiza hao mama kama kuwafikia karibu, asikie shida zao. Wao tu ndio wanajitegemea. Hata wakiwa na shida fulani, hakuna mtu anawafikia karibu.
If there's one thing the contestants were sure about, it is the kind of cars that county governors ought to drive.
Na tuangalie uongozi sasa nikuulize wewe kama governor, unaonelea ni gari gani governor anafaa peleke?
Mercedes Benz.
Hata tractor inafanya kazi.
Probox. The low cost car, the cheapest car.
Na hauna barabara.
Mercedes Benz uzuri wake ni kwamba iko na shock absorbers mzuri. Hata kama barabara itakuwa mbaya, governor ataweza kutembea mpaka ndani huko ajue shida ya watu wake ni nini.
Hiyo tractor inafika kila mahali. Kila mahali. Ukifika mahali kuna mfuko inapita tu.
Tractors for governors.
Coming up on Uongozi.
I'm able to be a decisive man.
As the judges, we've come up with a decision about those who will proceed and those who will not proceed.
Please follow me.
Welcome back to Kisii, the third location for the auditions of Uongozi. So far, we have 8 finalists who have made it from the Oloitoktok and Garissa auditions. From Oloitoktok, we had Kezia Khadija from Taita Taveta County, Solomon Mudhera from Mombasa County, Felipe Saja from Machakos County, and Herman Muraguri from Nairobi County. From Garissa, we had Enoch Maina from Garissa County, Zainab Wario from Isiolo County, Elizabeth Duya from Lamu County, and Aidan Muhammad from Mandera. 8 more candidates need to be picked from the remaining 2 auditions in Kisii and Kitale to form the 16 finalists who will compete in the national finals. Four people can proceed from this audition. Who will they be?
What's your understanding of what is leadership?
Leadership is like being able to know the way, being able to show the way, and also go the way. Like you don't have to tell people to do something when you yourself are not able to do that thing. You should be a practical example to those whom you are leading.
You know, I meet so many challenges. You meet students who don't have school fees. You meet parents who have a lot of challenges in life. And deep in myself, my spirit is like, how can I help them? Because if you don't give that kid the education he or she needs, you have not helped them.
Leaders should come up with policies which they should be accountable for. Many times the leaders come up with a talk or a speech, and then the speech ends at that podium where they are talking. But I think the change that I would like to come up with is any leader should have a policy and issues that he or she will address, and he should or she should be accountable for them.
Then there was Desmond Anyona, and he gave the judges a few lessons on the Queen's language.
Through my being a prefect in school or as an SRC member, it has actually provided a role in my life. I'm able to be a decisive man. I can always make my own decision. I am judgmental. That is, I can always give things through the way I see them. And then I'm also optimistic in life. 3, I'm sarcastic man. Yeah.
You're sarcastic?
I'm a sarcasm man. Yeah. That is unappealing to the people. That I'm appealing when I give out my views. Yeah. And also an integrity man, very intellectual.
And With the next general election around the corner, just how much do our leaders in the making know on the constitutional provisions around elections?
Have you read the Constitution?
Yeah, I'm a bit familiar.
You are? I'm glad to hear that. So, what are the 3 requirements to be registered as a voter?
1, you have to be registered as a Kenyan citizen. You have to be 18 years and over. Again, you have to...
You must be...
You have to have a voters... you have to have an ID and a voter's card, I think.
You should be 18 years and above.
You must be...
You
must not have been involved in any election offense.
You should be a Kenyan, and to be a Kenyan you should have something like a national ID.
After having interviewed the 60 candidates, the judges are faced with the task of picking only 12 to proceed to the next level. And all the contestants can do is keep their fingers crossed and hope they made a good impression.
I don't accept failing, so I know I'm one of them.
I feel I did the best I could do. Well, I hope I performed very well in the interview, because I hope I had the skills, the knowledge, and all the questions were relevant.
Okay, itategemea na majaji. Ikiwa wataona kuwa nina hekima ya uongozi, nitakuwa mmoja nao.
It's another morning and the candidates await the judges' announcement of the lucky 12 who will proceed to the next round.
We saw all of you yesterday, and as the judges we've come up with a decision about those who will proceed and those who will not proceed.
So I'll call out some names and then my colleagues will join us. 203, please stand up and remain standing. 185, 230, 198.
One 77, 219, 225, 194.
233, 210, 176, and 211. The people who are standing, the judges have decided that we'll proceed to a second round of interviews. The ones who are seated, we regret to inform you that this will be the end of the process for you. The people who are standing, please wait for further instructions. Thank you.
Now, apparently, yeah, I'm disappointed, but I think it's another platform. You know, it's all about giving up. You know, we have to fight for our country. It doesn't matter whether you lose or you win. You know, we're all Kenyans, and whoever gets there, I know will do the best.
I feel that it was a good program, especially to bring up young leaders who can change the way things work in the society.
People come together, people have different qualities. As the judge has said, just said that maybe somebody must have got an additional quality or additional information that made him to qualify. So to me, it is okay because that is a challenge.
It was a little competition, and in fact, they were so fair. That is good. I appreciate.
The 12 contestants selected by the judges in Kisii will have to be reduced further to only 4. To do this, a task was given to the contestants. There are 20 survivors in a devastated area, and the contestants read the profiles of these survivors. Each survivor has a strength, and a weakness, and the task of the contestants is to choose only 10 survivors that can be used to rebuild the community. Contestants have only 1 hour to come to a consensus. The judges will be looking out for decision-making, leadership, communication skills, teamwork, and ability to accommodate another person's opinion.
There is a paper with the instructions on the table, and then pieces of paper for you to write the 10 people you're choosing from the 20 people on that piece of paper.
Because the contestants had only one list with the descriptions of the survivors, they decided to have one person reading out the descriptions as the rest of the team wrote down on their pieces of paper.
Then the 8th one, a 35-year-old man who is totally withdrawn, a 40-year-old economist who recently came back from Oxford University, the second last person, a 30-year-old trained counselor.
The judges were right at hand to observe the candidates and to make the decisions on who to select.
A 8-year-old trained counselor who has never practiced after being jailed for 10 years for raping his past client, always excited about what he did and has no regrets. Required selecting the survivors for community continuity. From an assessment by the most advanced researchers and scientists, only 10 people should be retained for this community to survive, otherwise all the people will perish.
The nurse?
The nurse, yeah.
Teacher?
The 14-year-old. Let me ask you people, first of all, in this list of us, where is the contribution of the women? All I have here is the physically nurse and the 14-year-old girl.
And the 79-year.
And the 5-year-old boy. 79-year-old.
Have we gone for the 79? What about midwife?
We'll need somebody to give birth, so we'll need the promiscuous girl number 7.
That's what I was saying. Is it only for the 34? You go for the 15, number 7.
I think the girl.
The 14-year-old girl is there. No, I think we need more women in this group.
Things start to get chaotic as each contestant generated their own list. With no team leader to coordinate the group, it was each man for himself.
Yeah, to rebuild the nation. Number 4, carpenter.
Wait, he's in a murder case, but my son would go for...
He's guilty and has not regretted.
4 seconds.
Jobless, Davian, confused, 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, huh?
The incense. Have you written the CO?
Me, I haven't written.
Good, right?
Yes.
The last one?
So the last one?
The 10th one.
Because he can be a community leader somewhere.
You know, he's already withdrawn. He's a social misfit in society.
No. I don't think that's the correct guy. The nuclear scientist.
The problem is we don't have a guarantee.
Do we really need nuclear bombs again here in this society?
We want to.
But look at the job.
We want to run away from nuclear bombs.
The final list, you have how many people? 8. 8.
10.
May I have 9?
I have 10.
The nurse, the preacher.
Can you read them?
Yeah, I'm reading. The nurse, the preacher, the boy. The boy, the
5-year-old.
The economist, the midwife, the 26-year-old guy, the carpenter, the CEO. Okay, 2 more people. Number 6.
What about the woman with the leprosy? Have you read her?
Time is up, the task is finished, and now the contestants have to go face the judges and fight for their space in the final 4 from Kisii. Looking at how things have unfolded, things are bound to get interesting. Coming up on Uongozi.
I respect the opinion, but I don't agree.
Disability is not an ability.
I might emulate the changes she has made in the society.
Welcome back to Kisii, the third location of the auditions for Uongozi. So far, we've seen the contestants go through the audition process and the judges picking only 12 to go to the next round. But only 4 people will be going on from this audition.
You don't look too happy. Was it not a good exercise? So what we are going to do is that we are here to listen to your report. Do you have a team leader?
The contestants were done with their tasks, but there was just one little thing. They had not elected a team leader. One of them, however, stepped forward in an attempt to save the day.
We are in a mess, and in a mess meaning that there is a pump blast which has just happened, and we are in an emergency kind of situation. We are expected to move 10 people out of this place so fast so that we can have a community somewhere else. As a group and as individuals, we came up with 10 of them.
Maybe for the economist who is coming in from Harvard, we will need to set up a new society. We'll need someone to advise us on how to well proportionate our resources. We'll need someone to do the planning to ensure that we have a complete and viable economy.
Next, we have the beautiful girl. We realize that she is not doing good things as per the moment, but she can be able to change with the help of the preacher, and in a way we can continue, or we can have children from her procreation, because we need a society in that case.
I want to object that with such a person in society, is not going to inspire the rest based on her morals, based on her past records, and we are not assured, neither are we guaranteed that this beautiful lady is going to change.
The contestants tried to maintain a unified front, but cracks started to appear as their presentation progressed.
So you don't agree with the
I respect the opinion, but I don't agree.
Okay. Probably this 26-year-old beautiful girl would change. And in any society, when you see someone change and you know her bad past behaviors, when she changes, I'll concur and I might emulate the changes she has made in the society.
Mistakes are part of learning process, and a society that does not allow its people to make mistakes, this society is not actually making people.
And the obsession with the beautiful girl persisted.
This girl is, she is promiscuous, but she can learn from it. The negative effects that she'll get from it, she'll later on learn from it and change.
According to me, the way I consider him, he causes no harm to others. That decision affects him, although also his family. But also when we were looking at this, we also needed something like, in a community, you can never survive alone. We all have weaknesses, and we also need to depend on one another. So if we chose the preacher, then a preacher can also help this person, because we told that he can be able to move masses.
Also to add on that, concerning the CEO, as we are told here, he's insane, but he remembers what he used to do in his job. I would also take it that in the society, we have the 5-year-old boy, we also have the 26-year-old girl, and the lady, and the 14-year-old girl. These people need such an expert around to enlighten them on some avenues of expertise. We don't have to be just constructed on one area. We'll also need that CEO to enlighten the 5-year-old boy and the 14-year-old girl, and also to deal with the economic factors or functions of the society.
I think that was the final one. We are constrained by time. We've listened to virtually all of you.
With the presentation over, there was nothing else for the contestants to do other than await the judge's decision.
So we will go back and deliberate again. And then when we come back, we will definitely make an announcement of the 4 final candidates who will have made it from this stage to the next one.
Meanwhile, the judges went to deliberate on who to select to head to the national finals.
I've gained a lot from people's ideas, and I really feel psyched up to move on.
I have learned that leadership starts from the grassroots, and anybody is a leader in society.
I've learned from the experience that leadership is all about your actions to the society. It is what you can make the society emulate from what you do to.
We could either begin by saying, do we start with the best or do we start with the worst?
It seemed the judges had some strong views on who was not going to make it.
In other words, we want to have people who we know will not make it.
For me, there are
First.
people who we know will not make it automatically.
Yeah.
And I think I already have identified them.
So can we
start with the people who we think cannot make it?
Cannot make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think one for me, depending, like looking at the exercise that they just did.
Yeah.
One person for me is a guy who was number
211.
211. I think he's from
Nakuru.
Is he Nakuru?
Yeah.
And one, it's kind of like I had to force him to even be part of the conversation. He didn't want to come out and talk.
I'm of the same opinion. He was going to be my last.
Because I sense that he doesn't function well in group in a group.
Yes.
He's not timid, but he just doesn't want to come out. He doesn't want to show, like he wants to agree with everybody, you know.
Okay.
So, and I feel like he's not, for me, he's my number 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of us are on the same page with you with respect to that gentleman. So can we very easily rank him number 12?
Yes. 233. That was a number.
Yes, yeah. I like the fact that I like how she managed herself in the group, in a way on how she was presenting, and she is very clear. She's very articulate in terms of how, like, pertaining to the different scenarios that were presenting, you know.
And when she contributed, her story always merged several of the profiles that were on the list.
Yeah.
And that I loved.
And she spoke with one thing that she really really impressed, she looked on one value, which is empathy, you know, and none of the other participants actually was able to like really spot that.
2 or 3.
It's Nyamira.
No one was going to escape the judge's microscope in Kisii.
And he came back and he could have objected to the group, but I felt he was objecting, you know, while they were presenting, which I sensed a surprise from the group, you know. But the fact that for me was more of an issue where it's not the fact that he's objecting, but it's the fact that women in leadership.
I think that, I would appreciate somebody who has an argument against women in leadership based on a certain set of valuable reasons. And there can be valuable reasons for rejecting particular women because of a particular profile of a woman. Yeah? But this is almost a generalized dismissal.
I still think he's the face of a lot of Kenya. In rural Kenya, because there's no reason why Kenya should not be ready to elect a woman president, and so I would want him to be on the list, more higher on the list, because I want that conversation to happen on the national sphere.
Can we please say almost firmly that we have the top 4?
Yes.
The time of reckoning has arrived, and the contestants can only hope for the best.
Good afternoon. Again, let me thank you for being here and for your patience. We have already examined your exercise, we've discussed and come to an agreement about our choice of the people who will proceed to the final contest for this Uongozi leadership competition. The judges have discussed and unanimously agreed on the following as our results for this interview session here.
So number 1, 233.
Number 2, 225.
Number 3, 219.
Number 4, 230.
the selection process was fair, and I'm happy for the contestants who have won. And actually, the battle ain't over yet, because for me, the battle will be over when the system of leadership in our country will change, when we'll be able to remove all those selfish leaders and who are egocentric, they don't mind us, when the interest of the people will come first before their interests.
I feel good, but I see it as a big challenge. So I hope I should work harder to gain the grand prize.
Once I go back home, then I'll initiate that leadership. It starts from home, and I'll initiate just like anybody. I'm going to preach this gospel of Uongozi.
I feel so much honored and humbled down, so that I will try my best to see that I represent my constituency and also the region that we've been here.
I'm happy to be selected to move to the next level, and I believe I have the potential. I can make it, and I'll make it.
Primarily, what is very impressive about my experience in Kisii are two things. One is the gender element of it, to go in a place and to engage with people, and people who under normal circumstances you would not expect young women to do very well, but to come across actually young women doing very, very well and doing wonderful things. I think that was for me an inspirational but also a learning moment. But also because this is largely a rural area, and the assumption that rural areas need to be empowered, I think, can very easily be dismissed on the basis of my experience in this place. So I think those are very important components of our work.
Over 12,000 applicants, 240 shortlisted. 60 of them came to Kisii to face a panel of judges that would pick only 4 to advance to the national finals. As the sun sets over Kisii town, it is clear that there is no shortage of Kenyans willing to take up leadership. Join us next time as Uongozi heads to Kitale for the final leg of the auditions. Until next time, this has been Uongozi. To continue this conversation, go to www.uongozi.co.ke, or you can like our Facebook page Uongozi Kenya, or follow us on Twitter at Uongozi254.